to do a quick review on the Canon Canonet 28. The first thing you want to look for when you buy one of these is to make sure that the battery for the light meter does not have corrosion, and this will be here in the bottom. That's one of the first things you want to look for. You don't want it to have too many impact or dings, especially around the rangefinder area, which is right here. I've dropped a different model. It's a Canon, one of these rangefinders, and it threw off the rangefinder, and I was never able to really get it to focus too good. And it's only going to matter close focusing distances, but still, you just want to make sure there's no significant impact right here. The light seals are always going to be really corroded. They're going to be falling apart. It's little, gummy residue that's going to be all around the camera right here. I usually get a flathead screwdriver for eyeglasses and just scrape all of it off, and that usually does pretty good. And then you want to make sure the biggest light leaks are going to be on the door latch, this part right here, and this part, and the top and bottom. So you can buy light kits on eBay. You can just cut them up. It's going to take a while, but once you do it once, it's not too hard. This is a fully automatic camera. So once you have the battery on, it's going to do everything automatically. There is one exception, and this was meant for flash use. So when you put a flash on it, this little lever right here, you can now pick any aperture, but it's only going to shoot at 1/30th of a second. Also, since it's an automatic camera, it's going to lock up. If the exposure is below 1/30th of a second, it's going to lock up, and it won't let you take the shot. So what you can do then is just try to wing it and shoot it at 2.8 right here, and it's going to fire at 1/30th of a second. Usually it's not too bad. You can pull up some of the exposure, so it looks like it may be a manual camera, but it's not, but if the 1/30th feature is pretty nifty. The focus throw, meaning the amount of turn that it takes to focus from the closest to the longest, is really short. So that's really good when focusing. It doesn't take you too long to get a pretty good distance. This uses a really hard to find 48mm filter size. So if you want to get a cap, you either have to, hopefully it comes with one, but what's really common is you get a step up ring, which means it's going to be at 48 and then to 49. So you can use 49mm filters or lens caps or anything like that. Most 49mm lens caps will fit it just fine. It is a 40mm lens, 2.8. The rangefinder patch, the contrast on this is really good for a camera this old. It holds up really well. Of course, it's going to be hard to see if it has fungus or not, but if you look at it in different lights, you might be able to see it, but these usually are pretty sturdy, so you don't have to worry about that too much, but you do want to look for it, but it's going to be really hard to see if you're buying it online or anything like that, but most of them are pretty good. The viewfinder shows if you look through the viewfinder, it's going to show the shutter speeds it's shooting at, and they're at 30, 60, 125, 250, and 600. This is a really good starter camera if you've never used a rangefinder before, and the prices on eBay go from anywhere between 25. Some people change the light seals, they make sure all of the functions are working, they clean it up really good, and those run from anywhere from 100, and I've seen some up to 150. The really expensive ones, sometimes they change the leatherette on this, but this one, on most of these, it's really good. Um, they're very small. You know, you can take it anywhere. You can just put it in your bag. That's really handy because you can take it with you anywhere. So in comparison with a Leica, this is an M4 right here. You can see that they're, let's see, nope. Let's see, side to side. They're a little bit shorter, probably about an inch. So, and it's, the Leica is actually a little bit shorter um, in height, but just by a hair. So they're pretty equivalent to a Leica size. They're really small. The lens is really narrow. So the Leica lenses are usually, unless it's a collapsible, um, it looks smaller than a Leica, but it's pretty close to its size. But this is gonna get you out and going at a very low price. I think I paid about $10 for this one at a thrift store. Most of the times, if you buy it on eBay, they're going to be just fine. They're just going to be really dirty. The battery I use is a 1.45. It's a hearing aid battery. I believe it's the A76. I bought a whole bunch of them and I put them in a little bag, and they usually last a month or two. And this does have a battery checker, so that's a pretty handy feature to have. So I hope you enjoyed it. Try it out. It's a real low price. The lens is pretty sharp, pretty contrasty depending on what film you use, but it's still pretty good. I mean, you really can't go wrong. They're really nice to shoot. Um, if they're not working for some reason, I really wouldn't bother having this repaired. I just try to buy a new one. Other than that, I hope you liked the video and try out this camera. It's pretty good.